The real purpose of the A-113 subharmonic generator is to create mixtures of different divisions of the incoming sound, or different subharmonics or undertones. Now you might be used to the idea of additive synthesis, where you start with a fundamental and then add harmonics on top of that. The idea of the undertone series is that you start with your high pitch as your fundamental, and then you add in undertones or subharmonics underneath that. They're basically a mirror of each other. The twist is mostly in additive synthesis, we use sine waves, pure tones that each only have one harmonic. But the subharmonic generator creates sawtooth waves, which have a lot of harmonics, and those start mixing in with each other. I'm going to put the Moog oscillator back down to middle C. I have this divided by 1 right now. I'll play an octave up, just so we have some range to play with. And I'll turn on the VCA to leave that droning for now. When I go to a division of 2, I'm basically playing a C 1 octave below the Moog's own oscillator, which is driving the subharmonic generator. When I divide by 1 more step, or 3, I'm now down to an F, a perfect fifth lower than the previous note. Divide by 4 is back to C, 2 octaves down. Then 5 starts to get tricky. That's about an A flat, or a major third lower than the previous C that we were playing. And then divide by 6 is back to an F again. That's because 6 is twice the division that 3 was. So it's basically 1 octave below this F. And then it keeps going as you choose higher divisions, and therefore lower undertones. That's back to the F again, 1 octave below the divide by 6 value. There's our fundamental note coming back in again. Now let's start adding in other undertones and see what happens with the harmonic spectra. I mean, right now, I've got this sawtooth with the fundamental 1 octave above middle C. I'm tuned a little bit flat here. Let's just go a little bit sharper here. There's the second harmonic at twice the pitch of this fundamental, plus these undertones caused by the circuitry. When I start adding in a divide by 2, we'll basically see 2 sawtooth waves interwoven. There's 1 octave below, back down to middle C more or less. The second harmonic of our undertone lines up with the first harmonic of our first divisor in our mixture. And then this harmonic is the third harmonic of our undertone. This harmonic would not normally be here if we did not have that divide by 2 present. There it disappears, and there it is again. Things get more complex when you start picking other divisions like, say, divide by 3. Because now the harmonics of the sawtooth wave fit in between the harmonics of our original fundamental pitch. So you can think of it as a way of creating a very complex harmonic spectra, or you can think of it as a way of just creating different musical intervals. I'll go ahead and go to 1 octave below, there's the octave in the 5th, there's 2 octaves below, and go ahead and find other musical divisions if I want to. Take that off drone mode. An envelope through our filter. Some of these might even work better with, say, a high-pass filter to remove some of those undertones, those low harmonics. You know I like inverted envelopes with my high-pass filters, so at the very beginning gets a bite of those lower harmonics. But anyway, you can experiment with that later on your own. Put this back to normal. As I mentioned before, the output from the subharmonic generator can be a bit low. That's why I'm multiplying it times 2 through my levitate. You might think by adding together multiple channels on this device that they'll reinforce each other and therefore give you a louder signal. But you don't always know that they're going to come back in phase. For example, here's one combination of these both being divided by 2. As I change the division and come back, they're mixing differently because one's been offset from another in phase. So don't count on these reinforcing. It's best when these are tuned to different intervals, and then you mix the sound that you want and boost it later if you need to. Now, once you set up an undertone series that you like, you can save these as presets. To recall a preset, you hold down the preset button, and then you use the up and down buttons to choose which preset you want. To store a preset, you press Preset, choose a memory slot, then press the Store button above. I've stored this in position 5. The presets default to the 1, 2, 3, 4 division, so your unit will probably come with these stored in most of the preset locations. Now, in addition to having presets of different mixtures, you can use these foot controller inputs to trigger variations inside a mixture. For example, right now I have the classic 1, 2, 3, 4 division, but I can go ahead and use these controllers in a binary way to get 4 variations on this mixture. I have this routed to one of my slider controls. Let's go ahead and plug in the other one just so you can see what's going on. Here's another slider control coming to the other foot controller input. When I raise one slider control, I change to this alternate tuning, which I saved earlier. If I raise the other foot controller's voltage, it goes to a different division. If I lower foot controller 1 and keep a foot controller 2, there's another default division. So you might consider using these attached to gates or voltages out of a row of your sequencer, or to a traditional voltage foot control, to change the divisions you have while you're playing a sequence line, which can be changing the musical interval, transposing your line, etc., or to create a different harmonic series while you're playing. Just remember, after you set up your foot controllers, you will need to restore your preset. So far, we've been using subharmonic divisions that aren't that drastic, but this can go all the way to divide by 24. We'll go down to just one divisor in our mixture. Once you go down that low, you're below audible frequencies. And then you start to look at this as, maybe this could be a trigger source for percussion modules, or an interesting modulation source on its own. Well, we're going to explore those two ideas in the third movie.